Hey everyone, Razor here, and now we're on to Area 7 of the speedrun guide. We just completed Area 6, and now we're continuing onward. So, first we need to go on to that spot there, and then move up to Area 7, the Aurora Borealis. Now we're going to get this cutscene here. This is a great point if you need to take a quick drink, or whatever else you need to. This run doesn't have a lot of time for any breaks or whatever, so it's probably one of the biggest breaks you'll get that's kind of an auto cutscene. But unfortunately, it's pretty short. Alright. So now we have that conversation. And one thing to note, this is also one of those that you can hold a direction on your D-pad while mashing the B button, and then you'll be able to go right away. So the first area here, we're going to clear these two layers. One thing you can do is either step here, whichever. Note that those monsters to the left there, you see those kind of demons. Once they shoot a blast like that, then they do not shoot any further. So you can see they're not going anymore. After they move, then they'll shoot some more. And you only need to clear one of those, but we did just to be more thorough. Then usually I just take this right route here. Not sure how much of a difference it is if you take the left route, but you know, you get so used to doing it one way. That's the way I'm doing it here. Now note I'm going here, like just along this wall. Just going south along this wall, just to keep two of those blue demons where they are. And I'm going to move this way, just to spawn that. Move back a little bit. Now for these, you can be safe, just kind of move forward a little bit if you want. Just, might have to lure that one down a little bit more. But just take your time, just kind of going in as your own pace. And then just let those go away, clear those both. And then up here, I like to go to this side. Now, those shoot, and that's okay. We took a little damage, but they're not going to do anything else to us. We can just blast them with these light arrows at our own pace here. Alright, so now that we have those, now, technically these two, you only need to clear one of them. But clearing both of them kind of helps if you're new to this, just so you have less stuff lying around. So clear both of those, and let's go to the next area. Now, this section you can go left or right, doesn't matter too much. Just watch out for that flame that's down here. Now, you can defeat these one at a time if you want. You can use some slashes there if you want as well. That one over there, you have to do kind of a move back and forth if you want to defeat them with sword swings. Otherwise, you can just use your light arrows. Light arrows work very well against those. Then, if you want to be safe, you can clear those two layers to get some shortcuts or little spots to walk through. But I'm just going to keep what I have and just keep walking through. I am going to take some damage, which is expected. If you want, you can defeat that fly with some light arrows or however. But big key is we want to get down here to that soul armor chest. Usually after I equip that, I go to the medical herb, but it's up to you when you want to do that. The big key is after that herb is used, switch back to the super bracelet. So pretty quick there on the first two sections. Now going a bit further in the guide, now we're at Dazzling Space, or as I like to call the Scaries. So here, all of a sudden scary, and that's what we have the soul armor for. So first we need to defeat these. You can just kind of go here if you want. You can go wherever you feel is safe-ish. I like kind of, when I was first running this a little bit, I'd just stand here and just swing the sword a little bit. But just take your time. And again, we're just getting through this. Other videos can kind of show something more strategic there, or more optimized. So get through all that, and then we just want to open this chest. Just watch out for those SpaghettiOs, those statues shoot at you. Now we definitely want to equip the Soul Blade. Now you have a decision to make. You can either grind now or you can grind later. Technically it's faster if you grind now, but it's ultimately up to you. If you want to wait until later, you certainly can. If you wait later, then you'll have more gems for the last boss, but you'll also be able to collect gems when you fight the last boss, so it's up to you. So if you're going to do the grind here, this is just the grind, just so you can see it. It's just go in and out. And so I'm going to basically hold R when I go into this. I'm already facing the right way. And then go left, right, and get the top one. Just left, right, boom. Quick, 12,000. Now, you can kind of hit that just a little bit faster if you want, but it's up to you. It's faster if you do it right. Do it very quick. We'll finish the rest of the grind later, and you'll see why you'd want to do that. So next, we'll just go up here. You can keep with the Soul Blade if you want, or switch to the Spirit Sword just to defeat these enemies faster. I'm not too concerned about damage right now, because I'm going to go into this portal right there. Next part, we're just going to walk right across to that shortcut we unlocked earlier, and grab the red hot ball. One of the 3 items we need to wake up Death Toll, essentially. So next, we gotta do some backtracking. I'm just gonna go in the order that I have in my guide here, which it's roughly the way I go. Just gonna go and go to St. L's. And next part, it's up to you if you want to equip the bubble armor or not, but I usually don't because you'll see what I mean here. So we are going to hear the main character grunting a lot, but that's going to happen if you're walking underwater without any bubble armor on. Soul armor is good for space, but not underwater. Thanks, game. So we're just walking through. Notice we have plenty of health at this point, so we're going to get to this next section without too much worry. We're just a little under half our health. And then I like to hit that bubble too. So next, just make sure your Soul Blade or the Zantetsu sword is equipped. Either one's going to work just fine. And go right over here. And we just want to defeat these apes. If you want, these metal gorillas. If you want, you can be up here and take some more damage if you want. Just to speed up a little bit of that death warp. But when that's ready, just step. When that layer is cleared, just go right to it and step on that. And then we'll get the mermaid we need to talk to. Don't worry about equipping your armor. I'll just show you here. Right now we are at 19. 15 there. If I de-equip my armor, down to 11. So your armor does not impact the damage you take from lava. So just leave it equipped. And we'll be right back here. And then we need to talk to that mermaid that we released. And you can either be polite and talk to the front, or you can just be quick and talk to the tail. There we go. And then we got the next spot. One little bit of trivia is that Everhate was known for saying the Phoenix resides on the stick when he would do raids back then. And that's what that mermaid said earlier, so got a neat little bit of trivia there as we go. So going down further into the guide, we've gone through Durian and St. L. So now we're back to Greenwood. So next we're going to go down, we're going to exit east, and then we have to defeat these spirits using either the Spirit Sword or the Soul Blade. Either one's fine. I usually just keep it to the Soul Blade because they get defeated pretty quickly with its attack and your stats at this time. So we do have to go back all the way to there. So we defeated 3 so far. Then we come back. And we have 2 more. And then we step onto that layer that's the northwestmost part of the screen. So, of the shrine. So after that, we will go back to the Greenwood Shrine Again, just following the path we took after we beat the Area 2 boss. And then we gotta talk to a shy bird. So first, you just need to bump into this bird. And then, I like to go up a little bit more because if I try to approach the bird from right away here, the bird's gonna just move right away. So, and then you're just gonna have a bad time. Now I'm just going to hold the B button. Yep, still didn't work. So what we have to do is make sure that we are above that bird's x-axis. I usually like to be 2 tiles to be safe. And then just walk towards the bird. If you hold the B button, you'll automatically talk to the bird without it running away. So, good, easy way to do it. Otherwise, if you try to go and you don't quite get the B button in time, the bird can fly back. So, not so nice. So now we have the 3 red hot items. Now we can go back to Area 4. We just go right back into the town. And now we'll visit the king for the first time. So just go south and west, just trying to get to that corner of the map where the king is. And we'll have to talk to him twice, because he has one first spot or conversation they would have with us if we talked to him before, right after he gets released. And then at this point is when we would learn casually where about the 3 red hot items. So you can pretty much mash B. Yeah, just keep mashing B on this one. And we got dancing grandmas right here with those red hot items. A little bit of a wait. Again, a nice spot for a sip of your beverage or whatever. Just keep mashing B or whatever. Or Y. And then it's final boss time. Home stretch. We're almost done. You don't have to listen to me anymore soon. Unless you get to the other videos. Or watch me on Twitch. But it's up to you. That is another conversation you can hold the directional button while mashing. So there's only 3 of them in the game. With Dr. Leo entering Area 7, that cutscene there, and then that last conversation there with the king. So now we're going to move. There might be more in 100%, but I just don't do that enough to know offhand. So then we will go there and exit right. Now, you can just walk across these steps. That's kind of the quick way. Just hold left when you start here. So I'll just, one more time, just going in here, just hold left. There you go. Going across. You don't have to go down the bottom. You can just go right this way. So they're really good about all that. So a lot of it for flavor there. Then we've got the final boss as we approach here. So just some things before I start. Make sure that you have the Soul Armor and Soul Blade equipped. And it doesn't matter what spell you have equipped at first. But you want the Super Bracelet equipped if you have it. It will really help for things there. There is no difference between the Japanese version and the US for this first form. What there is for the second one. And it's mainly just, like here I'm showing in the guide, where those fireballs diverge. Like they're a little bit closer in the Japanese one, but in the US version and all other versions, they're more spread apart. So, but also it does mention the German and French versions have fast ROM, so pretty nice things. But that's getting into the weeds. We don't really need to right now. So now that we have all this stuff, it does mention the behavior of the bosses. I need to go back to the others and do the similar, but this is what you can do for the boss here. So make sure though that you're level 24, which is I'm glad that I made sure to check that first. You got to be able to swing your sword in order to defeat this boss. You cannot defeat Death Toll unless you are level 24. So I'm just going to do this grind real quick. And since we're doing it at this point, we're going to have more gems, which might make it easier for you if you're starting to learn this. Otherwise, you can go right into Death Toll's battle without gems. You'll just have to take the time to gather some gems as you go. And you'll probably be a little tighter on how many phoenixes you can shoot at that point. So now we've defeated the boss. We got about 117 gems. Pretty good. The last boss, all of those fireballs that are going to be around it are going to drop a lot of gems. So we'll be pretty safe. So all right, let's get to this battle. So going up here, I'm just going to hold my sword up. I can do it in two ways. You can just, I would just swing my sword at the boss. It's going to be the fastest. Don't worry about those fireballs or anything. But then switch to Phoenix right as the boss is exploding. You can do it after if you want to, but I usually do it here just to be a little bit faster because I got to wait around anyway for those text boxes to close. All right, now who's ready to count to 13 or 12, depending on. So this pattern is going to be, we have these. Notice I'm facing upward with the with my sword. You can also use the Phoenix if you want, just however you want to do it. It's just with that you are going to have more lag. So usually you can just go to each of these and just kind of tap them a little bit. The big part is just be careful not to run into the flames or hit those flames like that. So the other part of this boss battle is you'll notice there's a little bit of lag as there's a lot of stuff on screen. And there can be a little bit of lag control possibly. Like you'll see if... It's not wanting to cooperate here. If both lasers and fireballs and Phoenix are on the screen at the same time, it's not going to be as good. Should tell you how much of these to shoot each time though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually go with 4 or 5. And notice you can be way out here and still hit the boss. The boss's hitbox is really big here, so I can be out here and stuff, but just keep going here. If you have trouble on this boss or not as confident, definitely feel free to go back to Area 1 and grab an herb from that tool shop owner, because that'll help give you what you need there. So now you'll see the lag here. That's what happens when those get off sync. I don't try to worry too much about it when I'm doing a run. I just try to keep going as fast as I can. But lasers, I'm not as concerned about hitting me. It's more the other part. So when the boss explodes, that's when time is. Just right when that first circle appears, that frame, when that happens, usually the boss's mouth just goes, then you know it's going to happen there. And that is the entire run of Soul Blazer here. So again, just take your time. Remember, if it's your first run doing this, just grab some splits or even just a timer, even just one timer. Just see how long it takes you start to finish for fun. And then they'll give you just a starting point and then go further if you want to. It's just, if it's fun, keep it going. Otherwise, don't worry too much about it. So any questions, definitely feel free to shoot them my way. I'm going to have this guide on speedrun.com on the Soul Blazer page under resources at some point. Hopefully next day or two. Just want to do a little bit of editing just for verbiage consistency and a little bit of quality checking. But once I've got that set, then I'll have that up there. So thank you very much for joining me. Good luck on your first run of Soul Blazer. Hope you do great. And remember, just take your time with it. Have fun, because that's why you're doing it anyway. Thanks.